Hi gardeners, in today's exciting sprouting video, I want to discuss with you guys about what I do to prepare my beds for the vegetables or summer crops that I'm going to be planting this summer season. Well, here in Florida, we have to grow directly to summer crops, from fall crops to summer crops, because our temperatures are summer temperatures here when it's springtime all the way up to when fall has arrived. So we have to plant like the regular bush beans, the okra, all types of summer crops we grow for a long period of time. So in this video, we'll be going ahead and doing a step-by-step from the beginning on how I go ahead and clean out the area, to what I do to amend it, to finally the plants on how I plant them, and aftercare guide on the area that I'm be planting today. So let's go ahead and jump right into our very first step. So coming at number one is, of course, weeding and cleaning out your area. I did not record this part of when I was doing my area, but I did weed it out and clean it out of any bigger type of rocks or debris, because you want to work with a clean slate. You don't want your seedlings or your transplant to be introduced to an area that is full of weeds, debris, or very big rocks that won't allow them to develop a proper root system from the get-go. So number one has to be, make sure you weed and clear out your area before planting anything. Coming at number two, which is displayed right here, is you would want to lay some type of decomposable weed blocker, I like to call them. Here I have some pieces of paper that I was able to recycle from plant unboxings, and even these white pieces of paper you see, I was able to recycle them from my ceramics class from high school. She was ready to throw these pieces of paper out, and I decided to keep them and save them so I could use them for this type of occasion here. So we're not wasting any of that. If not, we're reusing it and putting it back into the ground. So this is going to act like a decomposable weed barrier, so it's going to allow the weeds to stay maintained for a little bit until it starts decomposing, and then the weeds will start showing up. But this is going to buy us some time for a good while. So make sure you put some organic matter down, or lay it down. Doesn't matter if you put cardboard or newspaper, just something that's able to decompose, that allows the weeds to be maintained for a little while. Number three is to lay down a fresh layer of soil down, so not only will it be able to amend the soil once the paper decomposes, but to also make the area look a little bit neater. So I went ahead and I laid down the pieces of paper, and I also went ahead and laid down a fresh layer of soil. The area looks better already. It makes 100% much of a difference than our native sandy soil. So this is definitely an upgrade, and hopefully I'll be able to do it to the entire garden when time has come. But we're gonna be focusing on this area next. And so now what we're gonna go ahead and be doing is moving the plants in, placing them where I'm gonna be putting them. So let's go ahead and do that, which is our third step, which is consider your area and choose the correct plants. You don't want to go ahead and plant and cram this entire area, or cram your area too closely, because that will open the opportunity for many diseases out there, and it won't make your plants grow properly. So make sure to take in consideration the variety of the plant you're going to be taking and the spacing it requires as well. So let me go ahead and get the vegetables I'll be planting in this area. So as you guys can see, I already went ahead and laid out my plants for this area, which are some green beans and some heavy hitter okra. These are going to be able to grow well with each other. The okra will grow upright, and the bush beans will stay at a very low area. So the thing I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to plant them, and in each hole I'll be putting a scoop of compost in each one. So there it is. So I already went ahead and I did the step-by-step on how to go ahead and plant up and prepare your area. Number one was to weed and clean out your entire area. Number two was to lay down some decomposable weed blocker, like any type of newspaper, paper, cardboard, doesn't matter what you use, make sure it is able to decompose. Number three is to put a fresh layer of soil or compost on top. And then third is to plant your veggies in there, of course with some organic matter in there, like earthworm castings, or like I did with the organic compost, and you're set to go. Now let's go ahead and discuss upon what you guys should do for care tips. So I went ahead and I planted up that area now, and now let's discuss about some care tips on what you should do and consider when you have a fresh new area that you created. So number one is you have to stay on top of watering. In order for that material that prevents the weed to start decomposing, as well as for your transplants to not dry out or wilt, is you have to stay on top of watering, because that will allow your soil to stay hydrated. And if you don't stay on top of water, the problems that could cause afterwards is your soil could become hydrophobic, which means that it won't be absorbing the water like it should be, and your plants will not getting the proper water, and everything underneath it is going to stay dry. So make sure you have a set watering schedule that allows you to work, of course, with your area. Like here, I won't be watering as often like I am because it is currently raining, and as well as it's been raining the entire week. But if you live in a drought area, you're gonna have to stay on top of watering in order for that area to sustain really well and stay at its maximum quality. Number two is you have to stay vigilant for pests and diseases on those new baby plants you planted. Especially with transplants, they are tender. Those leaves are tender, those stems are tender. They're not producing anything, so they're at their vulnerable stage right now for pests and diseases. So at least twice or 3 times a month, go out there, check the leaves, check the soil, check the underneath the leaves, make sure that it's clear of pests and diseases, because you don't want a problem blooring. And if you see a problem at early stages, treat it as to the best of your ability so the problem can be controlled and contained, and it doesn't become even a bigger problem later on. Number three is to stay on top of fertilizing that area. If you want that area to improve the soil quality and your plants to improve in quality as well, you're gonna have to stay on top of amending organic matter in that area. Especially if you're a vegetable gardener like me, the best way to go is to always constantly amend organic matter in that soil so it can become rich and packed with nutrients in it. That's why I stay away from synthetic fertilizers, because it tends to wash away and it doesn't really do anything to the soil. So I do is organic compost or organic earthworm castings that constantly amend the soil, and then I don't have to worry about it staying constantly amended, and then it will start making the soil change color and become a richer quality. Number four is to have patience. I know all of us gardeners want our garden to look perfect automatically, but we're gonna have to wait some time, and we're gonna have to be patient for that area to start developing, for the plants to start developing a new root system, and for them to start growing out and producing their fruit. Please don't start stressing out, don't start wanting to do stuff to improve or fasten up the speed of the growth rate. It's best to just lay back and enjoy the work you did, because you want to go ahead and make sure that takes its time, make sure that the transplants are acclimating to their area, they're starting to develop a new root system or start establishing into their area. So make sure you have to take time and step back and just enjoy the work and labor you did, because it will pay off later on once your plants start developing those veggies and they start giving you veggies to harvest. So it's gonna have to take time. Over time, the soil is gonna improve. If you keep doing this step or these processes every single time you plant a new area, you will see that the soil quality is gonna be more richer and improve in nutritious value as well. So make sure you have some patience and step back and just enjoy the hard work and see your plants grow. So that's gonna be it for this exciting sprouting video. I'm Emmanuel Arcet, well known to be the ultimate gardener. May God bless you and your entire family, and never forget to grow big, ultimate gardeners. Bye guys.